Esther dashing through pages. Chronicles, Gospels, prophets, sages. Leviticus, laws to Paul's fine phrases. Turning them corners, your spiritual mazes. Genesis to Revelation, so divine. Flip them scripts, endless grace you'll find. Psalms singing sweet, unbroken lines. Hitting that rhythm, wordplay refined. Anybody in here blessed? Anybody in here blessed? Bible in 1 year, we don't rest. Anybody in here blessed? Wake up early, the dawn's light shimmers. Spiritual breakfast, soul food dinners. Isaiah's vision, Ezekiel's figures. Walk through the fire, no one limbers. Kings and judges, prophets profound. Plowing the word, no mythical ground. Verse after verse, wisdom's bound. Heavenly soundtrack, soul serving sound. Anybody in here blessed? Anybody in here blessed? Bible in 1 year, we don't rest. Anybody in here blessed? No shortcuts, all divine routes. Listen to the whispers, no room for doubt. Parables drop stronger than gold faucets. Souls hydrated from divine prophets. Study the book, change perspectives. Carefully crafted, not too subjective. A year to reflect, learning perfect. Patterns of grace that time can't deflect. Old Testament drops deep and so real. Kings and warriors, covenant seals. Split that Red Sea, divine reveal. Commandments written, not made of steel. Bethlehem birth to cross on the hill. Unfolding the never blessings, pastor with skill. Scripture flip, every verse fulfilled.
Through the word, every verse, every chapter, nothing unheard. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed. Yo, online sermons, holy vibes delivered. Spreading light, got the sinners reconsidered. Psalm to psalm, man's like a holy DJ. Flipping through scripture, repping the Yahweh. Your emotes in the chat, praising the message. Flat cap on point, teaching eternal lessons. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed. Digital pulpit, preaching like a pro. Followers grow as the faith overflow. Keyboard clicks, holy words they stick. Raining blessings down with a slick rhyme trick. Virtual congregation, united in devotion. 1 year strong, a spiritual promotion. He's a life coach with divine instructions. Streaming holiness, no room for interruption. Flat cap changed the game, new pastoral fame. Virtual shepherd, he's embracing the mainframe. In the comments, affirmatives and amens. With each Goliath tackled, faith extend. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. Yo, online sermons, holy vibes delivered. Spreading light, got the sinners reconsidered. Psalm to psalm, man's like a holy DJ. Flipping through scripture, repping the Yahweh. Your emotes in the chat, praising the message. Flat cap on point, teaching eternal lessons. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. Digital pulpit, preaching like a pro. Followers grow as the faith overflow. Keyboard clicks, holy words they stick. Raining blessings down with a slick rhyme trick. Virtual congregation, united in devotion. 1 year strong, a spiritual promotion. He's a life coach with divine instructions. Streaming holiness, no room for interruption. Flat cap changed the game, new pastoral fame. Virtual shepherd, he's embracing the mainframe. In the comments, affirmatives and amens. With each Goliath tackled, faith extend. Everybody in here blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed. 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 Digital pulpit, preaching like a pro. Followers grow as the faith overflow. Keyboard clicks, holy words they stick. Raining blessings down with a slick rhyme.
Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Okay, looking like my transition there needs an adjustment. Properties. Transition point. I thought I had that set. Maybe it's in milliseconds. Maybe that's why. We'll try that. Just checking here. Let's see what happens when we. Okay. Nope, it's given the scene beforehand. Okay, I gotta figure out what's up with that. Okay, I had it, well, before I had to redo it all. Let me do this. Can I do not milliseconds? Will it let me? No, it won't. Okay, so I don't want milliseconds, I want seconds. I think. We'll try this. 60 milliseconds. And nope, still showing it. That's not enough. Welcome in tomorrow, by the way. Good to see you this morning, friend. Let's try 300 milliseconds. Oops. Hit cancel. That doesn't work when you hit cancel. You don't change anything. Okay. What do we get? Nope, still there. Not enough. I thought before when I did this, it let me do seconds. And this is not letting me do that. Oh, you know what? That's on. It must be frame. There we go. Let me do 10 frames. Okay. Let's see, does that do it? Nope, still there. Need to do more. Lewis is welcome in. I'm just trying to adjust the properties here for slides so you don't see the next slide before it swipes. Oh, I think I got it. I think I got it. Let's go. Let's go back. Nope, slightly. Very close. Very close, though. Okay, let's go 60 frames. That should be a full second, right? Okay. Couldn't see it before going over. Oh, it's... But there it did, huh? Let's try one more. Not seeing it there. Look at the beautiful sunrise, by the way.
Streaming life by the reeds.
All right. I think we got it. I think we're good. All right. I just saw that, and I thought I would play with it just a minute at the beginning here. So, welcome in, everybody. Yeah. And the Pet the Fish is a fun one, because that doesn't happen very often. I will say that the fish in the back room have gotten to the point where they come up when I go to feed them. They get excited now. They get excited to come up when it's feeding time. For quite a while, they would just hide whenever I would go in there. Now, I think they're finally comfortable. Now, you know what? That's a VOD I need to make. It's a VOD I need to make. Oh, by the way, if you saw the title... I think this is funny. I want to be a pizza box. Recycle me. I've got an unboxing that we'll do a little bit later. We got an unboxing today. So, trying to get some tech upgrades, but still small ones for the most part. So, but for doing podcast, I needed an upgrade. So, let's jump in and see where we are today. Oh, and I need to change the background to negative. I wish there was a better way to do this. I can't figure it out if there is one. All right. Yeah, because this will be negative, but not every site when you go to browser will actually go to being dark mode. So, all right. Bum, 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 bum. We are on Friday, favorites. So we got to Esther 2 is where we got. We got started with Esther 2. We got the setup for everything of why we are where we are, what is going on. We have, we need to make that larger. That is super small to read. We have a king having a 365-day festival or occasion to everybody come and parade, come to my parade, come to my inauguration, whatever it is. He's having an ongoing soiree. With the end of it is a week-long Festivus for the rest of us, and the end of it, when he's good and drunk, he orders Queen Beautiful, yes, that's what her name means, Vashti, Queen Beautiful, to come in and parade around so that all of the men can gawk at Queen Beautiful. And Queen Beautiful says, I'm having my own party, not having it. And, well, we can't just have that. So what do we need to do? We need to remove her as queen and set up a new plan to bring someone else in as queen, because otherwise women everywhere will revolt when they hear that the queen doesn't have to obey the king. I'm trying to remember what the king's name means. Let's go look that up again, because I don't remember, but I know it was something very funny. Oh, sorry. I can never spell Esther. My brain spells Easter. When I try to spell Easter, I spell Esther. Okay. The king's name. I will be silent and poor. That's what it was. I will be silent and poor. Which is fascinating because the king is mostly silent through mostly the king will say, what should I do? So the king just asks people what to do. What should I do about this? I don't know what to do about this. Tell me what I should do about this. Now, that sounds a little bit like the king is incompetent here, and I think it's trying to play that way. But it's more a matter of leading into the fact that other people have agendas and manipulative of the king. And so I think that's what's really being played up. So Queen Beautiful, she's out. And let's see what happens. Okay, so we got through here's what we need to do. Now, there happened to be a Jewish man in Susa, the citadel, whose name was Mordecai. Mordecai is a pagan name that reflects the name of a Babylonian deity, Marduk. Probably many Jews of the period had two names, one for their secular use and the other for use especially within the Jewish community. Mordecai's name is not recorded in the biblical text, so we don't know his real given birth name. We would have this, or we have had this, I should say, throughout time, where people would ask you for your Christian name. Like, you might have a birth name, and then at your christening and or baptism, depending upon how all this would happen to you, you would take on a Christian name. So another way where we still carry this on is the Pope. When you become Pope, you have a new name that is your name as the Pope, so that you are identified as a new person, so to speak. So I just watched Conclave not too long ago, and so there was the whole thing of what is the name of the Pope that you want to be, and I'm not that I'm going to ever be Pope, but just thinking about the names there, and I'm like, which direction should I go? Should I go with Sylvester? Sylvester, because, that's a fun name to say. Sylvester, and plus I think of, Sylvester and Tweety Bird, and so I could be Pope Sylvester, and my wife could be Tweety Bird, and that would be funny. Or do I go with Pope Innocent? I didn't do it. I'm Pope Innocent. I didn't do it. I'm not trying to make fun of the Pope. I'm just picking on names of popes that have been, and that what you do is you pick a name from a previous pope. So you could be Pope John the 4th or 5th or whatever, or Pope Clement the 4th, or, I mean, I don't know a lot of the names. You've got John and John Paul and Francis. So not picking on the office, just having fun with some of the names that have been in that office. Okay. So they were telling us that Mordecai, but you didn't tell us what Mordecai means. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. Now, there just so happened to be a Jewish man, and he did not have a Jewish name. His name was Mordecai. You don't need less decay, you need more decay.
Strong's H 4782. Mordechai.
Mordecai.
Mordechai.
Okay, I thought I was going to say it the other way. Little man, or worshiper of Mars. Interesting. Worshiper of Mars. They were going with the Mordok. These seem like totally different. It must be depending upon how you're trying to see the root of the name. And he's mentioned in Ezra, Nehemiah, and Esther. I did not realize. Well, which came with Zerubbabel, Joshua, Nehemiah, Sariah, Realiah, Mordecai. Did not realize that. Wow. Wonder if this is the same Mordecai. Is that a different Mordecai? Anyway. Companion of Zerubbabel. Somebody could, well, the thing is, it depends on how you're dating Esther. And Esther is like a standalone book, so I'm not sure how you date it. But anyway. So we have Mordecai. Little man. He was the son of Jair, the son of Shammai, the son of Kish, a Benjamite. Okay. This is the important piece here that I like. This fascinates me. He's a son of Kish, a Benjamite. Who else was the son of Kish, a Benjamite? Let's find that. Hey, exactly. CDN Sniper, exactly. Saul is a son of Kish, a Benjamite. I wanted to go find that a minute. Why is it not letting me copy today? Will it open? Okay. King Saul, exactly. Off to work. Have a great day. Thank you. Like, apparently this site is having problems here. Okay. Subdue. Welcome in. Okay. We'll just put Kish here and see what we get. This should give us I would think, the genealogy of Saul. There we go. No, I want to be Samuel. Okay. There was a Benjamite, a man of standing whose name was Kish, son of Abel, the son of Zoar, the son of Dekorath, the son of Aphiah of Benjamin. Kish had a son named Saul, as handsome a young man as could be found anywhere in Israel, and he was a head taller than everyone else. There we go. So that's what I wanted to go look. So we have Saul, who is the son of Kish directly, who is a Benjamite. But look at how this happened. So Kish is the son of Abiel, the son of Zeror, the son of Becheroth, the son of Aphiah of Benjamin. So look at how it got shortened. The son of Kish, a Benjamite. So the son of Kish, a Benjamite. We just eliminated all the people in between there, because Kish is the important connection to Saul, because Saul is connected to Kish. And then we skipped everyone else in there, and we get the tribe of Benjamin. And we get the direct couple of people who are also in importance. And there might be more people in between there, too, between Jair and Shammai. There could be more names in there. But just pointing out that when we have genealogies, we can jump a bunch of people in between and name prominent people along the genealogy, and we're not doing anything wrong. We're doing the way that they would have done it. So if for instance, I was related to some of the founding fathers, I'm going to pick Sam Adams for no reason. Or John Hancock. Let's go there. John Hancock, because he's got a big signature and it's all fancy and whatever. So I want to be a big brash person like that. So I might give my father, my actual biological grandfather, and then I'm going to jump back if there's anybody important around the Civil War time that I'm related to, and then I'm going to jump back to maybe John Hancock, and then if I can, I'll jump back to whatever you came from, England. But that would be how I would tell. I'm not going to say all the people in between, or modernly I would just say, yeah, my great grandfather John Hancock, or my 5 great grandfather John Hancock, whatever it would be. So I'm just saying we do similar things, not exactly the same, but they're trying to give the prominence of relationship here. So as we are in exile, we are wanting to think of King David. We are wanting to think of King David. So I think part of what's happening in this story, so Saul is appointed as king. He disgraces the line of Kish. He disgraces the Benjamites by his actions, by his not following after God, by seeking his own way, doing other things. And now we're going to say, oh, what's going on? What happened? Why are we suddenly thinking about Kish? Why are we suddenly thinking about Benjamin? Why are we thinking about the first kingly line? So we just have a queen who is cast out by the king, and now we're talking about the relatives of a king who was cast out by God. So we've got this parallel here. What are we supposed to be thinking? So I know I'm spending a lot of time thinking about this, but this is just such a fascinating little thing. Like, why is he related? And why are they making such a point of being related? Okay. Let's keep that in mind as we go forward. Okay. So who had been taken into exile from Jerusalem with the captives, who had been carried into exile when Jeconiah, king of Judah, whom Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, had taken into exile. So Mordecai came into exile under Nebuchadnezzar's capture when Jeconiah was king. Jeconiah is an alternate name for Jehoiachin. A number of modern English versions use the latter name to avoid confusion. You know what they could also do? Put a footnote and tell people that. Just saying. I mean, it would be like today if I'm writing about President Trump and I would call him the Trumpster in one place and I would call him the Donald someplace else, Oh, nope, I forgot to do that. Thanks for the reminder. I just did not remember to do that. And I spelled Easter again. Is that how it's spelled? Yes. Bum, bum, bum. There we go. Now it says Esther. I decided to change it to focus because Thursday when it said reading, and then, I don't know. Anyway, if focus doesn't make sense, I can change it back to reading. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. And I love how it's like just nonchalantly like, yeah, you know, he came with the exile. You know about the exile, right? Oh, yeah, and it was under this king, yeah. And it was Beba. He's been around a while. Now, he was acting as the guardian of Hadassah, that is Esther, the daughter of his uncle, for neither her father nor mother was alive. It's a weird place to have a footnote. For there was not to her father or mother. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, the other's a little bit more poetic. For there was not to her father or mother. This is universal understanding to mean Esther's father and mother were no longer alive. Okay, what do we have on Hadassah? Hadassah is a Jewish name that probably means myrtle. The name Esther probably derives from the Persian word for star, although some scholars derive it from the name of the Babylonian goddess Ishtar. Esther is not the only biblical character from whom two different names are used. Daniel, renamed Belshazzar, and his three friends. Okay. Also, so, and then it's also, you had a friend that grew up with, and at your age, you will write her name as Esther, actually. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, so you're conflating the both of them over each other. Also, just an aside here, I think, yeah, until she pointed it out. Yeah. Because of someone, and I can't remember where it is, but it's like recent, modern, as far as time goes, that someone made the claim that Ishtar was the origin of Easter, and it can be proven that that's not true. Because there's no references to any of the trappings and things around it. Spring celebrations were a common thing in many cultures. So just because Ishtar and Easter sound similar, they do not have the same word root origins when you trace them back. And then the person who was making the assumption and the claim did not have sources for it. And then that person who makes the claim gets cited as a source. That's how sometimes things get passed on. So at this time of year, you see a bunch of people claiming that Ishtar is the origin of Easter. They have not done their homework, and it is wrong, not true. And I also wonder if, because of that, they're thinking that some scholars are going, Ishtar and Esther could be a connection there. I'm not saying it couldn't. But it seems like you wouldn't mix the letters around here. You know, SHT, STH. That part seems like a weird flip-flop to me for language. But anyway. Okay. So we have Myrtle. Not a fantastic name in my mind, but you know, like a garland, a wreath, and that kind of a thing. That might be part of the idea there of thinking about that. Okay. So Uncle Mordecai is in charge of Esther, and so he is her guardian. And I think the reason it's kind of making it go in the direction of guardian of, let me see, the term omen means attendant of a child, a guardian, a nursemaid to look after. Older lexicons did not distinguish the root of the homonym to support, to comfort. This is a reflection of the number of translations used by phrase like brought up, bringing up. Okay. I'm going to say I'm thinking that she is probably a teenager, maybe 20s. Just thinking, because the fact that she is unmarried probably means that marrying age is still in the teens. So that probably being the case, she's probably a teenager. I'm just guessing. We don't know, but culturally that would make sense. So yes, he would still be the one caring for her, looking after her. It so happened that when the king's edict and his law became known, many young women were taken to Susa, to the citadel, to be placed under the authority of Haggai. Who is Haggai? It's that guy, Haggai. Haggai the guy. Under the custody of Haggai. How you doing? Not to be confused with Haggai.
Strong's H, 1896. Haggai. Haggai.
Okay. It just means eunuch. It just means eunuch. So she was placed under... Okay, let me see. What do we have here? Oh, it's saying it's a proper name. Okay. So it's... yeah, it's just saying proper name, so it's not. Okay. Placed under the authority of eunuch, the eunuch. It's like, he's not important to the story, everyone. He doesn't get a name. His position is his name. So it'd be just like, under the authority of the king. But king's name is king. Melech means, yeah, Mr. U. Mr. U. Eunuch is spelled with a E. See, here's eunuch. Yeah, oh well, exactly. I like the sentiment. Mr. U. Mr. U. Although if you say Mr. E, my brain goes to Mr. T. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Placed under the authority of eunuch. Esther also was taken to the royal palace to be under the authority of eunuch, who was overseeing the women. This young woman pleased him. Okay, what is the... was good in his eyes? See, and that... I liked it. I would have went with found favor in his eyes, like was good in his eyes. I would have put that to saying favor, you know, because here, this young woman pleased him could be taken in lots of different contexts that I don't think we want to go. Like, if that's the way, I would have put this one young woman impressed him. Then I can't misunderstand that. She found favor with him. He quickly provided her with cosmetics and her rations. So she gets cosmetics and rations. Like, here's your food and here's your beauty stuff. Food and look good. Food and look good, you know. He also provided her with 7 special chosen women who were from the palace. Okay, what do we have here on the footnote? Being looked after with favor. Okay. So 7. Totality completeness. 7 attendants. So she, like, just think about this for a minute. How many girls are being brought in to possibly, I mean, like, you're talking about the TV show The Bachelor. Like, this is the OG The Bachelor. Okay? The edict has gone out throughout the country. Send your young women in now. If they're good looking enough, you can send them in. They can hang out in the harem. And then, let's just say there are 1,000 women that come in. I don't know, that's a number. Let's just say there's only 100. Oh, and then they each have some people attending them. So let's just say they each get 3 and Esther's got an abundance. So you got 100 women in there and 300 attendants. Like, this starts multiplying. Man. He then transferred her and her young women to the best quarters in the harem. The Hebrew literally says, house of women. Okay, I don't know which sounds worse. When someone says harem, I have a picture in my mind that, that's not a great place to hang out, because it feels like you're less than valued and you're like a possession. But if I say house of women, it sounds more like you're cattle. So, neither one sounds good. Hey, Donut! Welcome in, my dude. Have a great stream. Appreciate it. Yes. Thank you, friend. Appreciate you coming in. How are you doing? I see you posting away on TikTok. I think that's where I see you most of the time. And I usually am trying to like your stuff. But, boy, I have so many friends out there right now that are doing great stuff. I have so little time to watch all of the good stuff that people are putting out there. So just want to encourage you, if you're not feeling it, you're being seen or appreciated, I just want to say, keep it up, man. Keep it up. You know what I should do? The conference, by the way, this week was great. And so now the plan will be following up with Equipping Digital Missionaries course. So anybody thinking about, I would like to get more focus on being a missionary in digital spaces, check that out. Fill out the form. Okay. Okay. There we go. Finish that sentence. I'm thinking that this is Mr. Yu's job or profession, so he would know quality. Oh, it is. It absolutely is his job. The other thing that's interesting about this is, from experience, he is going to know what the king likes. Okay? So, I'm trying to think of, there's been some of these movies out there. They're Pygmalion, if you know the original. But essentially, someone that goes from rags to riches, some young girl that suddenly gets, to be in front of the prince or whatever that is. Like I said, Pygmalion's the original one. And there usually is a mentor who teaches them how to dress, how to behave, so that they can fit in and so that they find favor with the king or the prince. Those kinds of things. So, so it is his job. He's a professional. It's just funny. He's just called Eunuch the Eunuch. He was the eunuchiest eunuch. It's Pretty Women all over. Oh, yeah. Yes, exactly. There it is. I knew there were more modern ones. I couldn't think of the name of it. But yes, Pretty Woman. Exactly. Where there's the person who is the mentor for the pretty woman as she comes out of what she knows and becomes part of what she becomes. Okay. Thank you, Subdue. Bum. Now, Esther had not disclosed her people or her lineage, for Mordecai had instructed her not to do so. The same phrase occurs, but the word is reversed. Okay. That she not tell. That she should not make this known. Okay. this is an interesting little twist here. Why does Mordecai instruct her not to reveal this? Is it for nefarious reasons? Is that it? Is it because, don't eliminate yourself to begin with by just going, oh, you're one of those foreign women? You're one of them foreigners? We don't want them foreigners in here. I don't know what that voice was, but okay, this also goes to, okay, so some people will take the issue around lying. Okay, let me put it this way. Some people will take the 10 Commandments and the thou shalt not kill, which really can be and should be translated thou shalt not murder, and they will apply it to anyone who is in war and say that they are killing, and therefore that is a sin. And that is not what the intent of it was. Also, all of the things around lying and deceit have to do with intent as well, because when we get to it, well, here I'd be going back to it, the midwives who flat out lie to Pharaoh and say the Jewish women deliver before we can get there and we can't do anything about it. They're flat out deceiving, lying to Pharaoh, and they are praised for it. So the idea of deception is not necessarily like, oh, we want to just make everything black and white. And that's not usually how it is. Motivation behind why you're doing things. So here, is it to gain some advantage? I don't think so. It is to prevent some harm, potential harm, from being delivered upon her. So what's also interesting is, what is running through? Okay, just think about this for instance yourself. You are an Israelite, and you're in captivity, and your niece is going to be taken to be in the harem of the king. Is this a good thing? Do you want this? Do you want, we all think about, oh, Esther, and how wonderful she is, and we know the story, and we know, we're just going to back up and stop for a minute. Would I want my niece to go be a piece of meat in the house of the king? And I'm being really kind of blunt on that. Because what are the potential that she would really end up being queen if he is bringing in women, young girls from all over the empire to try to, the chances of her becoming it are going to be they're nil. That's not it. Why would I want to put her through that? Make her an object. Hey, Hobo Bob, welcome in. That doesn't seem like, why does Mordecai say yes to this? Now, maybe the thing I'm saying is wrong. Maybe Mordecai has no choice. Maybe this is, I'm going to say this in a funny way, talent scouts who were sent out throughout the country, and she was scouted, and you could not refuse. So, I don't know. We don't really know how. Is it conscription that it's forced to be in there, or is Mordecai sending her with his blessing? Hey, go do this. It'll be good for you. We have none of that information. None of that information. Subdue. If this was a Jewish king, an Israelite, and Esther was brought in to, let's say, Solomon to be in the harem, I would say yes, but you're in a foreign land, and this is a foreign king who worships foreign gods. I think there's some problems there. I think there's some problems there with this. So that's the part I'm saying is, because it is going to be, you're going to be queen here if you get to be queen, and we know she does, but you're going to be queen here in a foreign land, who is a foreign land who is ruling over your people. I'm just saying, we know the story so well. We rush past these little things, and I just want to stop and think through some of this. Yeah, Yeah, difference in beliefs and values. Yeah. And then, like I said, the king is worshiping another god, not your God. How's that going to work out? And then it's, hey, don't let on that you don't worship the God that everyone else does. Yeah, a mandate kind of like kings sometimes request or demand soldiers. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not sure how this was done. We don't really get just there. This is going to happen is all it's stated. It doesn't tell us how it's stated, which is usually it doesn't answer those questions. The Bible doesn't usually answer those questions of how. It answers the question of why and who. It's good at answering the question of who and why. So the king makes an edict. Why? Because the queen's on the outs. Why? So he can get a new queen. That's what we know. But how was Esther brought in? Was it by force or was it voluntary? That's what I'm saying. So, anyway, it doesn't change the story, but it changes in some ways. Does this apply to me or not? Or when would it apply to me? What are the circumstances when it applies? So that's why I like wrestling with those thoughts. Okay, anyway. Mordecai says not to say who she is. If she's going in voluntarily, that would seem like it is for deceptive practices. If she is under conscription and has no choice but to go, it seems like it is not nefarious. I don't know how it would be nefarious if you're forced to. Then you weren't asked, don't tell. This might be the original don't ask, don't tell. Okay. The other thing is, when Israelite men are taken into captivity or captured and they're found to be circumcised, you can't hide. You can't hide your people. Esther, however, women aren't circumcised, so she can hide her lineage, her people. Okay. And day after day, little man used to walk back and forth in front of the court of the harem in order to learn how Esther was doing and what might happen to her. Okay. What kind of access does Mordecai have to be able to... Yeah, that's what it meant, didn't it? We looked it up. Mordecai, little man. Yeah. Little man. Little man walked back and forth. I think there's a play also on... I like the idea that his name means little man because throughout the story... Yeah, just still funny. Oh, I know. Little man is of no importance in the kingdom, but little man has access all over the place. Little man can go unseen. Little man can find his way into places. I just like there's so much play on that that's fun. So the king is the elevated person, but this little man is the one who actually is going to be doing things. And then when you compare him to Haman, when we get to that, Haman thinks he's all that in a bag of chips. He's the big man on campus, and little man is nothing in his eyes. Okay, so he used to go back and forth in front of the court of the harem. So it's a particular part of the palace, and it would seem that there would be limited access, which might be why he goes back and forth in front of it. Like, okay, I don't know. This is going way back. Okay, I don't know if anyone does this anymore, but you know, back in middle school, when you liked someone and you'd find out where they lived, you might walk up and down their block or ride your bike past their house on the off chance that they might be outside, and you could strike up a innocent, advertent conversation to say, "Oh, hey, how you doing? Oh, you live here? Oh, I didn't know that." Or, "Oh, hey, good to see you." And you did know they lived there. Like, I don't know, you do that anymore. That's what it just reminds me of. Like, I'm just going past innocently. I'm going to go past, and we'll be, "Oh, hey, what's up with the harem? Hey, what's up with Esther?" It feels like it's just trying to portray him as knowledgeable, but okay, so this might be a good example of what is the passage? innocent as doves and shrewd as a serpent, that's what Mordecai is doing right now. He is being innocent as a dove, and he's being shrewd as a serpent. At the end of the 12 months that we required for women, the LXS does not include the words that were required for women to be to her according to the law of women under the regulations for women. So, what are they doing for 12 months? I'm like, 12 months of training. I mean, movies always make this seem like it's faster when you're trying to train women to. I'm not meaning women like they're lowly and all that, but I'm saying when you do the Pygmalion thing, or it's Trading Places with Eddie Murphy, with the rich guy there. I can make this. The switch in movies is so much faster, so my brain thinks 12 months is a long time to learn all those things and to switch with who someone is and to learn how they would live and to be in their shoes. But I think there's a level of, in order for it really to be owned by you, and I mean that like, I don't just act like, hey, I'm a flat cap wearer and I can be a streamer. Like, I mean, how long does it take to be a really good streamer? You're going to have to do it month after month after month and engage with the chat and, do whatever you're doing, playing the games and or doing art or doing your music and all of that. It's going to take time. So, yeah, if I put it in that terms of I genuinely own what I have become, 12 months seems like a good length of time for it to be settled in. When the turn of each young woman arrived to go to king, I will be silent and poor. For in this way they had to fulfill their time of cosmetic treatment, 6 months with oil and myrrh, and 6 months with perfume and various ointments used by women. So now we're getting more details of what happened. So 6 months with oil and myrrh, and 6 months with perfume and various ointments used by women. I don't know what that means. I don't know what they did. It's Beauty School 101. The women would go to the king in the following way. Whatever she asked for would be provided for her to take with her from the harem to the royal palace. In the evening she went in, and in the morning she returned to a separate part of the harem. To the authority of Shaashgaz, the king's eunuch who was overseer of the concubines. She would not go back to the king unless the king was pleased with her and she was requested by name. Okay, so you get to go into the king for the first time, and you've got to be so memorable the king remembers your name. Okay, what does Shaashgaz mean? Shaashgaz? It sounds like I've got marbles in my mouth. Shaashgaz? Oh no, it sounds like I'm doing a little bit of a what's his name? Can't think of it. Shaashgaz.
Strong's H 8190. Shaashgaz.
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 Servant of the beautiful. So, eunuch, generic eunuch by name, just gets to take care of all of the women who haven't been with the king. Yes, Adam Sandler Waterboy. That's what it was. Yeah. Shaashgaz. Shaashgaz. Servant of the beautiful. And servant of the beautiful gets all of the beautiful women that the king has had his way with, at least once. So there is the part of the harem, this is going to sound really bad, the unused part of the harem and the used part of the harem. And I'm trying to nicely say that. I don't think there's a nice way to make that distinction. But we've got two different guys in charge. Those who are new, and those who are used. I mean, it's just a bad way to describe the whole situation. Okay. When it became the turn for Esther, daughter of Abihail. Okay, we suddenly have a name of Esther's father, Abihail. Why do we suddenly have a name in here? She had no parents. Now she has a dead father. What does Abihail mean? Why are we having the name in here?
Strong's H32. Avihail.
My father is might. My father is might. When it came for the turn of Esther, daughter of my father is might, the uncle of Mordecai, who had raised her as if she were her own daughter. His own daughter, sorry. To go to the king, she did not request anything except what eunuch, the king's eunuch, who was overseer of the women, had recommended. Yet Esther met with the approval of all who saw her. Okay, I don't know what you can request here. My assumption is you can request food for the king and your visit. You can, if that's aphrodisiacs, if that's flowers, if that's oils, if that's music, whatever else that you might request. Esther goes, Abihail, or sorry, not Abihail, eunuch, Mr. You, what should I take? I'll do it. I'll do exactly what you suggest. Tell me of all the things. I'm going in to see Flat Cap. What Flat Cap should I bring to Flat Cap that he will find much? I will find much approval. Do not bring one from the lower shelf, people. Don't bring the lower shelf stuff. You want to bring the top shelf stuff here. Okay. Okay. Yet Esther, met with the approval of all who saw her. So whatever she did, everyone was like, we thought Queen Beautiful was beautiful. Man, check out Esther. Then Esther was taken to King, I will be silent and poor, at his royal residence in the 10th month, that is, the month of Tebeth, in the 7th year of his reign. Now we could do some math because we had the beginning of his reign to look to see how long it took from Queen Vashti's outing until we get here. I don't know that it matters, but we could figure it out. And the king loved Esther more than all the other women, and she met with his loving approval more than all the other women. Grace and loyal love. Oh, is that Hesed? Whoa, if that's Hesed. Okay. Dun 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 dun. 17. And the king, Ahab. Okay. So, Ahab, love. This is how I remember Ahab. Do you take this man to be your wife, to Ahab and to Ahold? Yes, you love them. Okay. That's how I remember Ahab, love. And she obtained grace and hesed. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my. I never noticed that. Hesed. Oh, my goodness.
Strong's H2617. Chesed. Chesed.
Goodness, kindness, faithfulness, the lovely. This is how God's love for his people is described. His loving kindness. Wow, I did not see that ever. See, here's where their translation helped me see something I hadn't been before. So I pick on this translation. I pick on anyone, but this is a fantastic loving approval. This loving kindness, loving loyalty. That's how I would describe it, used of God to his people. Loving loyalty. So he placed the right high turban on her head and appointed her queen in place of beautiful. Then the king prepared a large banquet for all his officials and all his servants. It was actually Esther's banquet. He also set aside a holiday for the provinces as he provided for offerings at the king's expense. So I got me a new queen. It's party time. It's party time. The LXX does not include the word he provided the offering at the king's expense. Interesting here that the LXX, which is the Septuagint, which is a Greek translation, has a couple of things it leaves out in here, which means that the LXX was probably translating from a different copy of the book of Esther than the one that we have from the Masoretic text. Okay, we got ad break coming in. That seems like a good place to add. And when we come back from the ad break, we'll do the unboxing. All right, so let's head on over and check out the fishies.
Flat Cap Pastor rocks his tweet. Streaming.
So yeah, the one cam that was
Fish pond calm
on YWIS is now back outside. So you'll only see YWIS behind me now. Unless I get another cam.
Plays tunes by his quiet land. Acoustic guitar in the breeze serenades the fish with ease. Watch the fish, they swim along to the rhythm of his song. Flat Cap Pastor shows the way. Stream it live, come what may. With his cam he shows it all. Little fish both big and small. Life in ponds so serene. Nature's beauty on a screen. See the ripples, watch the flow. Hear the music, gentle glow. Flat Cap's charm and calming tone makes the fish feel right at
Other people
home.
get the ad. Back
Watch
the
the
ad.
fish, they
Saw
swim
one on the side. That
along
was it.
to the rhythm of his song. Flat Cap Pastor shows the way. Stream it live, come what
Okay,
may.
now it's telling me ad break ends in a minute. Now I'm seeing it. Okay. It should be rolling now.
Refuse Cammy shows it all. Little fish, both big and small. Life in ponds so serene. Nature's beauty on a screen. See the ripples, watch the flow. Hear the music, gentle glow. Flat Cap's charm and calming tone makes the fish feel right at home. Watch the fish, they swim along to the rhythm of his song.
2, 1, or
Flat
something like
Cap
that. Very
Pastor
close.
shows the way.
Very close. Okay.
Stream it live, come what may.
It's unboxing time. Unboxing time. Again, I want to be a pizza box. Recycle me. I think that's hilarious. Okay. Oops, upside down. All right, so I was wearing these all day at the conference because I needed to hear and make sure when I was talking that there was no back feed or anything. And oh my goodness, that was so painful on my ears. Oh, there we go. It has a pull tab. Oh, wow, it has a pull tab. I was like, I got to cut this It's got a pull tab. Very cool. I've not seen that. Okay. Bum, bum. Some instruction or something. We'll look at that in a second. Oh, more instruction book. It's all fancy. I always got to look in the box first before I finish opening things. I don't know why. Pattern from childhood. Okay. Drop something. Ooh, has it got a bag? It's got a bag. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, I dropped the desiccants. Don't put those in your chips. Okay. I wondered if this would have been the microphone here. Would have been so that I could detach it. It does not look like I can detach it. And I got the wired one. I didn't want to spend that much money on them. Oh, wow. That's fascinating. So it has the plug-in and then an extender with 2 different feeds on it. So apparently I could plug 2 different feeds in to the headphones or something. I don't know. I'll have to look at the instructions on that. I'm going to take that off for now. And let's see how they look. I will say they're good and comfy. I like that does not feel pressure on my ears. No, that feels all right. I did want to see how it looked like this in case I do not want the microphone showing, because I'm not planning on using the microphone. I'm planning on, when I'm doing the podcast with someone, having these on so that I can hear and I'm not feeding back in. It's going to be a weird transition for me. Talking and hearing myself muffled is weird. Maybe one mic and one for headphones. It could be. Damara, you might be right. You might be right. That might be a split to be able to separate the two. I'll look at the instructions, but I decided to go with white. Do you think the white looks good? I guess I could, keep it like this, but it looks weird with 2 mics, I think. So I was hoping this could detach, but I bought the low-end model that plugs in instead of wireless and all of that. So, all right, there's the unboxing. Like I said, I went with white. I thought it would look good versus the black. So, unlock your headset's full potential now. Nope, I'll wait. Okay, I don't know. Unboxings are just kind of fun to do. Yeah, it looks clean. That's what I thought. I thought the white would look good no matter what my hat was. So anyway, now I've got, which I don't know that you ever see on screen, but I do have the Razer Basilisk mouse, which I really like. Of course, I'm using it just as a mouse. I'm not using any of the you can play games and push all the other buttons and program buttons. I'm not doing any of that. But I'll tell you what, that is really soft on my ears or on my head. The pressure felt good. So far, very cool. Very cool. All right. I like doing unboxings, just sharing it with you. I'll probably, you know what I need to get set on my Stream Deck? I need to get the Clippy set up on there. So, anyway, back to the Bible. Okay. Bum. Now, when the young women were being gathered again, Mordecai was sitting at the king's gate. What do we have here? Mordecai was sitting at the king's gate apparently means that he was a high-ranking government official. It was a city gate where important business was transacted. Being in the position afforded Mordecai an opportunity to become aware of the plot against the king's life, although the author does not include the particular details of how the information first came to Mordecai's attention. Yeah. So we have this in the book of Ruth. We have this in other places. So business would be conducted at the city gate. Well, here the king's gate is going to be into the courtyard of the palace, I'm going to assume. Now, you're going to use that language whether they physically mean you're sitting here or not. So, like, foreign dignitaries are going to come in. Here is going to be the court of people that you're going to hear, and business will happen whether or not you get in to see the king or don't get into the see the king, those kinds of things. And there might be some other levels of that. But there would be business transactions that could happen here. And apparently Mordecai is among that group that would be officials. If this was a city gate, it'd be the elders of the city. So Mordecai has gotten himself into a position of some kind of authority leadership. We have no idea how. It just, he is. He is. So maybe Mordecai, along with Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, got into places of prominence. Maybe he was one of those that had king's training. Maybe he came in a different wave than Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, because there were different times when people were taken. I'd have to go back and look at Daniel and see when he's taken. I believe he's taken in the first wave. So Mordecai may have been taken in a later wave of capturing of young men to be trained in the king's ways. Esther was still not divulging her lineage of her people, just as Mordecai had instructed her. So just in case you wonder, we're going to make sure you know nobody knows. Esther continued to do whatever Mordecai said, just as she had done when he was raising her. So I don't think that this necessitates that Esther is running to Mordecai with everything that's happening from the standpoint of, what do I do? What do I do? I can't think for myself. I'm helpless. What do I do? How do I? No. The continued to do is the instructions have already been given in the way that she had been growing up. How do you act? What do you do? And she's continuing to live in light of what Mordecai had instructed her. So she continues to live that way. She has not changed. She is, so even though, see, I think this is the point. Even though she is now in the palace, she has not forgotten who she is and where she came from. It's not like suddenly she's in the palace and now she's going to be a party girl. Now she's going to be doing that. Hey! Welcome in, readers! Welcome in, Rihanna Mystique, and everyone coming in. They were playing exclamation point. It's so weird when it does that. Welcome in. Glad to have you in here, everybody. So, just waiting to see anyone dropping names in the chat so I can welcome you all. You can see a little bit of things that have happened, that's what we have done over the years, and the change in scenery that's happened behind me. There we go. Good morning. Is it Raina? Am I saying that right? Raina Mystique. Welcome in. Thank you for the raid, friend. Appreciate that. Thank you for trusting your community and bringing them over here. We just got finished doing an unboxing, so I'll show you that real quick. Raina, thank you. Thank you. Raina Mystique, welcome in, Raiders. I like doing unboxings when I have them. We've done a few of them. Yes, yay new friends. Yay new friends. Exactly. How was your stream, Raina? What did you do? We put the shout out didn't tell us what you were doing. What were you playing? No's coming in. What is it? What do you love about Raina? Why are you hanging out with Raina? What is the best thing about Raina that we should know so that we can go over and check out Raina's It was amazing. You did worship and studied Proverbs. Ooh, Raina, that's awesome. Well, do you play instruments? Do you play instruments? Or do you just play music? Very cool. We are in the book of Esther right now. So you play the ukulele and sing? Ah, that's fantastic. I don't know if Ukulele for Worship is in here. I usually watch Ukulele for Worship in the morning. So I've got fish. I've got hats, and we study the Bible. There's the brief summary of my stream. I have fish, I have hats, and we study the Bible. So Monday through Friday, we're reading in the Bible. Let me show you the schedule here. So Mondays is Messiah Monday. We're reading about Jesus. Torah Tuesday, we're reading the first 5 books of the Old Testament. Wisdom Wednesdays, we're reading Psalms, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, or things like that. And you can make recommendations there if you have one that you would like us to look at. Transform Thursdays, we're looking at spiritual disciplines. And Friday favorites, I give you one of my favorite books, and we go through it. So we're reading in Esther right now. That's where we are. Oh, so she rated you. Okay, awesome. And spoons. Tiny little spoons and jams. Okay. Fun. Well, I'm glad you're here. So, trying to think if there's I'm always so bad at tell people about myself and all of that. So you can see all the different places I'm connected there. All the logos for things that I'm doing. I've got this channel where I'm reading the Bible. I've got my fish channel. When we're done today, we will go and raid my fish channel, and I go do co-working on the fish channel. I have another one with the Church Digital where I do podcasts. I need to get some scheduled. I have nothing on the schedule. So, anyway, we read the Bible, and please interrupt. Please ask questions. Please be curious. If you have insights, please share them. If you disagree, please let us know that. This is a safe place to be able to do all of those things. If you need prayer, request it. This is a great place, I think, to hang out. I love my friends who are hanging out with me, and so I'm glad you're here, Raina. Okay, so we're in Esther, and Esther has become queen, and there was a party. That's where we were at, and Mordecai has been hanging out outside. He is in a position of some kind of authority at the king's gates, and that's where we're at. So if you need anything filled in as we go along, just let us know. Okay. In those days, while Mordecai was sitting at the king's gate, Bigthan and Teresh and the masters of the universe. Oh, sorry. Okay, we got to go look up those names. Or are they going to tell us? The individual is referred to as Bigthana, a variant spelling. Okay. And Teresh, LXS does not include the names Bigtha and Teresh. Okay. So we have Eunuch, who is named Eunuch. I did not see it. Oh. You were hoping to catch the digital conference, but you missed it. Did you register for the conference? If you registered for it, the videos will be coming out next week sometime. You'll be able to catch the videos if you missed it, Rena. You did? Then the breakout sessions did not fully function the way that we had hoped. We broke it. essentially. But the videos will be coming out sometime. The goal is next week that the videos will come out. So if you do not see them by next Friday, you can DM me, or you can join the TCD Discord. And if you're not over there, and you'll be able to get more info. And that's also our community over there. So we have a community over in Discord, which is going to be where the gamers are hanging out for the most part. And there is a WhatsApp community, and WhatsApp community is a large international community as well. So we did have, I want to say, I thought I heard 1,100 unique computer identified for the conference that came in. So we had 1,100 people that attended the conference. We averaged 40 most of the time in VR. And yeah, so Supersonic, Saved by Grace, Cat Jam. Okay, what did you walk into? Oh, I was just, well, we're in Esther, and I was just talking about the conference this week, and where you can join the community for the Church Digital. So, also there'll be a course coming up, Equipping Digital Missionaries, that you can join as well and sign up for. Wow, I'm sorry, I'm just thinking through my head. We set the date for the fall conference is October 8th, so it will be before ReachCon. It'll be before ReachCon. Okay. So in the day, oh, that's what we're going to do. We're going to go look up Big Than, and Teresh. Esther 2, 30, or 21. 21. Mordecai sat at the gate, two of his chamberlains. It's an interesting word there. So it's not using the name eunuch that we had. Saris.
Strong's H5631. Saris.
Ah, you got shouted out and you actually streamed. Cool. Okay, an official or a eunuch. So these could have been officials instead of eunuchs. Because eunuchs, Mr. U, his name means eunuch, and he just goes by eunuch. Oh, we're going to look up Big Than. Big Tan and Teresh. Big Thon.
Strong's H904. Big Thon.
In their wine press.
Strong's H8657. Teresh.
Strictness. Okay, so in the wine press could be either a reference to he might be the guy in charge of wine, or if you're in the wine press, you're getting squished. So Big Than is going to squish you. And strictness, going to make sure you follow the rules. You're getting squashed by one guy, you're getting berated by the other. Don't know, but you know me. I look up the names because names have meaning. So at the King's Gate, we have in their wine press and strictness. Two of the king's officials who protected the entrance became angry and plotted to assassinate King I Will Be Silent and Poor. By the way, that is what Ahasuerus means. If you just came in. Sought to send their hand against. Decided to kill. Yeah. Their hand against. Yeah. When little man, that's what Mordecai might mean. It also could mean worshiper of Mars, but I like little man, so we'll go with that. When Little Man learned the conspiracy, he informed Queen Esther, and Esther told the king in Little Man's name. The king then had the matter investigated, and finding it to be so, had the two conspirators hanged on the gallows. It was then recorded in the Daily Chronicles in the king's presence. Okay. So, I know that gallows has been the traditional translation here, which brings our mind to thinking of hanging. But if we think of Vlad the Impaler, the Persians perfected killing people on a pole before Vlad the Impaler did. So on a pole or on a tree. So yes, gallows could be hanging someone from a tree branch. You have a noose around your neck. That's Old West justice, hanging someone by a noose. But it also could be on a pole, and it could be on a spike that would have been run from bottom to top, and then you would hang there. That's one of the things the Persians did. So this very likely, instead of being a hanging, could have been a spearing, and then you would hang the person up, you'd elevate the pole so they could hang there and see everybody. The same way the Romans used the crucifixion to be a billboard, don't mess with Rome, the Persians would use the spike and putting you on a spike and hanging you up in the air to say don't mess with Persia. So it may not actually be a gallows, it could be that. Maybe you've never heard that before. But this is going to come back later in the story, so I just want to take time here. Sometime later, King I Will Be Silent and Poor promoted Haman, the son of Hammedatha the Agagite, exalting him and setting his position above that of all the officials who were with him. Okay. Now we have Haman. Oh, next chapter. Dum, 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 dum. Haman. And we're going to look up the of Hammedath and the Agagite.
Strong's H 2001. Haman.
Magnificent. So, okay, if I'm reading the story, this is why names are fun. We're going to now have a battle between Little Man and Magnificent. Who should win the battle? Should Magnificent be victorious, or will Little Man prevail? Is Magnificent... And by the way, think of what he tells the king should be done for someone who the king is pleased with. He thinks of himself as magnificent. This is where it'd be fun if you just put Haman the Magnificent, because Haman means magnificent. Medatha.
H 4099.
Double.
Medatha.
Interesting. They left the ha off of this. Hamedatha. The double. I don't know what to do with that. Okay, and Agagite.
Strong's H 91. Agagai.
I will overtop. Okay, so the name isn't important. What an Agagite is important. Oh, are we not getting it? Okay. Okay, I know... Dun, 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 dun. I thought there was another place in Scripture that it was mentioned. Maybe we got to wait for another name. Okay, this is just talking about only in Esther. Okay, I wanted to see if there's another Scripture reference. We'll just wait and see then. Maybe it mentions it elsewhere of the group that he is from. But I was thinking there was some connection with King Saul. I was thinking there was a connection with King Saul, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm maybe I'm conflating some things. Okay. So he's elevated above everyone else. So I don't know if this makes him second in the kingdom, but pretty close to it. As a result, all the king's servants who were at the king's gate were bowing and paying homage to Magnificent, for the king had so commanded. However, little man did not bow, nor did he pay homage. So everyone's bowing to Magnificent, but little man will not bow to Magnificent. See how fun this is when you use people's meanings of their names, when you tell the story? Like, just think of how fun that is if you're hearing it for the first time. Then the servants of the king who were at the king's gate with little man, "Why are you violating the king's command?" And after they had spoken to him day after day without his paying any attention to them, they informed Magnificent to see whether this attitude of a little man's part would be permitted. Furthermore, he had disclosed to them he was a Jew. So they're persisting, and it says he paid no attention to them, but somewhere along the way, they've learned about that. Oh, changing the flat cap. All right. What one do we want, Lucis? So, little man and Magnificent. Magnificent has been elevated, and little man will not bow down. Anything with brown. Ooh, interesting. We'll go with this one. I haven't worn this one in a while. It's a full-on brown. All right. Digging it. I need to figure out how to make those swipes, because that would be super fun to be able to make one for the Digital Missionary Conference. Okay. Yeah, using the savings. Yeah, I haven't changed it yet. Oh, well, and I'm fine with that, honestly. I was making it for the other day for April Fools when I wore no flat caps, which that's becoming a fun tradition, I think, on some part. If you've been here, last year I wore all of the non-flat caps, and this year I wore all baseball caps. So, did you see the VOD I put out with all the hats that for April Fools, Lucis, or anyone else? Okay. When Magnificent saw that little man was not bowing down or paying homage to him, he was filled with rage. Next year, you should stack all of them on your head in a giant stack of flat cap gloriousness. Yeah, I did have, like, it's back there. It's back there. You can see it. Yeah, and I had the top hat on and the Russian hat. Yeah, I wore all non-ones that we switched hats. Okay. He is filled with rage, but the thought of striking out against Mordecai alone was repugnant to him, for he had been informed of the identity of Mordecai's people, so of little man's people. So Magnificent sought to destroy all the Jews, that is, the people of little man, who were in all the kingdoms of I will be silent and poor. The parenthetical phrase is not included in the LXX. Some scholars amend the Masoretic text, arguing the phrase is awkwardly placed and syntactically inappropriate. While there is some truth in their complaint, the Masoretic text makes sufficient sense to be accepted here and is followed by most English versions. Interesting. Yeah, like the kid's storybook, yes. All the hats on the head, yeah. You know what? What is the book where they're not stacked on top of each other, but he keeps taking the hat off and there's another hat underneath. I thought that was the most amazing book ever. Like, so if you want, I don't know what they call it in there, but like a bag of holding is where you can have infinite, essentially, amount of storage inside of a bag and put whatever you want inside the bag. I wanted a hat of holding. So when you take the hat off, there's another hat underneath, and you could never take the hats off my head because they would all be inside of the other hat. That would be so much fun. Yeah. Had a lot of that imagery. Yeah. We just need the monkeys. Go Dogs Go is a classic. Oh. Okay. Like a Russian doll. Yeah, exactly. But not getting smaller. I don't want him to get smaller. I don't want a tiny hat on my head. Okay. We're getting another time reference so that we can track how long this has been going on, where we're at in Esther's relationship with the king and all of that. The first month, that is the month of Nisan, in the 12th year, and we started in the 7th. And then we had to get a year down the road to be the 8th year. So we're at least several years down the road. In the 12th year of King I will be silent and poor's reign. That is the lot was cast by Magnificent in order to determine a day and a month. It turned out to be the 12th month, that is the month of Adar. Okay. Seems to interrupt the flow of the narrative. Many scholars suggest that it is a late addition to the text, but there's not enough evidence to warrant such a conclusion. Even though its placement is somewhat awkward, the verses supply to the reader an important piece of chronological information. Okay. So, do I have one sitting here? I know I've got some nearby. Oh, come on. Okay. I'm gonna BRB. I wanna show you something.
He's got that flat cap dapper look, making waves online, spreading the word on Twitch. Pastor with a cheerful heart, no lie, preaching joy so high to the sky. He'll be right back, yes, he'll be right back. He'll be back in 2 or 3. Flat cat dapper, flat cat dapper. We'll be right back after this break. No mistake, joy they make. I'll be right back. Yeah, we'll be right back in 2 or 3. Right back after this break. No mistake, joy they make. I'll be right back, yes. I'll be right back in 2 or 3.
Okay, we back. Okay. So, there's casting the purr or casting the lots. These might be separate things, but to think of an idea of how this might happen, okay? So, this would be a modern idea of it. I'm rolling the dice. Oh, I got an 8. What month is 8? That's what it's going to be. And then, oh, what day of the week? Oh, I rolled and I got a 2. I'd need to have, I might need to roll 2 of those to get month or to get day, and then I add them together. I got a 2 and a 7, so that'll be the 15th. Okay, that's one possible way. Something, and these probably wouldn't be dice like this. They would have been something that would have been more like knuckles that they would have used, or it could be like a two-sided thing. So, oops, I'm going the wrong way. It could be this side is one choice, this side is another. I flip it or I drop it, and whichever side it ends up on, that's the decision. So it could be like a yes and a no. You could use a couple of these. One is yes, one is no. One that's yes and one is no means it's uncertain. 2 yeses means it's yes. 2 no's means it's no. That's one other option of how casting lots might have happened. Another option would be you put a whole bunch of things in here, and you reach in and you pull out the answer. So there's what the idea of casting lots is. You are, D12. Yes, that's a D12. A coin toss. Yep. Or this. If you think of the black spot, like everyone reaches in, and the one who gets the black spot on here, or do I have? No, these are all white, but I could throw one that's non-white in here. So what the whole idea of casting lots is, and or dice and or coins, which is why a lot of, or I should say, when I was growing up, and it's still this way in some other countries and places, dice is considered gambling no matter what you're doing with the dice, because it goes back to all these things. Because the idea behind casting lots using whatever mechanism is that you are allowing the gods to reveal information to you. You are letting the gods determine the fate of something, to determine it. But it's also used by the people of God. When David is inquiring of God, there is ways in which they would have done it. They had the Urim and the Thummim. Urim and the Thummim. I can never get those right. The Thummim. They would use those to inquire of God. So it is asking a question, and then you are trusting that God will reveal the answer through that. So they would do this too. The gods would reveal the answer. So when he's casting the purr and casting the lot, look at this. It's the 12th month. They're in the first month, and the lot ends up on the 12th month. That seems like a really long time. So, did God, not his God, maybe his God, but did God give it a long way down the road so that some action could interfere and so that Haman would have time to hang himself, so to speak? Laura, welcome in. Okay. I know some of you have seen me show similar things before, but I just thought I would take and do that again, as we're talking about Pur, which leads to the celebration of Purim. And I'm going to refill my tea from one to another. The reason I usually do that, by the way, this is usually hotter. And so then what I'm actually doing is warming up what is left in the other container that's cool. And then this will stay at the hotter temperature until I need to drink it. Okay. So we've cast lots, and it's the 12th month. Then Magnificent said to the king, I will be silent and poor. There is a particular people that is dispersed and spread among the inhabitants throughout all the provinces of your kingdom, whose laws differ from those of all other people. Furthermore, they do not observe the king's laws. It is not appropriate for the king to provide a haven for them. A haven? They were taken into captivity. How is this a haven? Sorry. If the king is so inclined, let an edict be issued to destroy them. I will pay 10,000 talents of silver to be conveyed to the king's treasury for the official who carries out this business. Okay, what do we have? 10,000 of silver. The enormity of the amount of the sum referred to here can be grasped by comparing the amounts of 10,000 silver to the annual income of the empire, which according to Herodotus was 14,500 Eobic talents. In other words, Haman is offering the king a bribe equal to 2/3 of the royal income. Doubtless, this huge sum of money was to come, in large measure, from the anticipated confiscation of Jewish property and the assets once the Jews had been destroyed. That such a large sum of money is mentioned may indicate something of economic standing of Jewish people in the empire. Interesting. I don't think I realized it was that large. And then 10,000 would have a symbolic large number, like a massive amount, like who could have it? Supersonic, I don't believe in chance odds, but I still like playing a playlist on shuffle if God wants to use it to show just the right song at just the right time. Yeah, and the point is, Supersonic, is not chance, okay, or odds. That's how we would modernly think about gambling is chance. Gambling is odds, and you want to beat the odds. That's not the idea here. It is not leaving it to chance, not making yourself a decision. So the casting lots is to not leave it to chance. It is to let divine intervention reveal what should happen. Yeah, a man plans his ways, but the Lord directs his step. Yeah, exactly. So this is a way for God to direct the steps. And those who didn't follow God but followed other gods also thought the same thing. This is a way to let the gods direct the steps so that I don't misstep in this. So yeah, we would say, yeah, gambling and cards are games of chance. That's not how they're thinking of it. They're not thinking of it leaving it up to chance. They are thinking of it as leaving up to God or the gods, so that there is no chance involved, so they don't mess it up. You might have people today, depending upon their religion, who would consult someone to pick the right day for a wedding. What is the right day that we should get married? Because given my background, their background, my signs, your signs, all of those things, so that we have a wonderful wedding and a wonderful life based on when we should get married. So, as far as picking days, this is not something that has gone away with and is not done anymore. It's just maybe not something that Christians are going to do. Okay. Samarella, hey. Good to see you, friend. Hope you're feeling well. So the king removed the signet ring from his hand and gave it to Haman. Gave it to Magnificent, the son of Hamadatha, the Agagite, who was hostile toward the Jews. The king replied to Magnificent, keep your money and do with these people whatever you wish. So he gives him the signet ring, which means whatever he writes up will be what happens. Supersonic. It would be nice if chapter verse had a concordance update. Might be tricky to implement, but using a command like source, part of a verse, then you can give just the citation, then you can type the citation after. Yeah, that'd be interesting if it had a concordance That would probably have to be a whole nother thing. Yeah. Kind of well, but not really well. Okay. Well, at least improving. Well, on some level, it is nice for sharing with everyone else so they don't all have to go look it up. Or if you're wanting to share something and the streamer doesn't have to go look it up, because not every streamer just has the Bible open like I do. Okay. So removing the signet ring would enable Haman to act with full royal authority. The king's ring would be used to impress the royal seal on edicts, making them binding as if the king himself had enacted them. Ah, I see what you're saying. If you could do source, Jesus answered, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. So you could say source, and then you could say, I am the way, the truth, and the life, and it would respond. I like that idea, Supersonic. Missionary Gamer is the one who created Chapterverse. Maybe you could share that idea with him. I don't know if it would work or not, or how much it would take to change it. The frequent pain is, yeah. Pain is one of the most awful things. Chronic pain, I should say. Constant pain is one of the most debilitating things that people can face. It is hard to concentrate and do anything when you are in pain. Let me look a second. I gotta get the right account up. Yeah, that's right. That's the right spelling. Missionary Gamer. Yep. Yeah, I was gonna say whisper him the idea if whispers are open. Yeah, I did whisper him. I don't know if you last month, just saying, hey, I haven't seen you around. Hope you're doing well. So if he is, yeah, if he accepts whispers from anybody, you'll be able to do that. You're just making tea. Sorry if you're not chatting. No worries, Laura. I believe if you put, it used to be if you put exclamation point join Supersonic in my channel, then it would go in your channel. So why don't you try that exclamation point join? I know when he did the update, it might have changed. It's been a while. Okay, you're going to have to go look up Chapterverse on Twitch and see what it says for instructions. So, yeah, it used to be like you had to join it in somebody else's channel that had it, is how it was set up initially. So maybe it's, you got to go to Chapterverse, like go to that on Twitch and join now. I've been a while since I've had it reset up. Well, like, several of the bots have channels. You need to go to their Twitch channel, and it will give you instructions on how to join and have them join. I don't remember if it has to be a mod or not. So, okay. Bum, 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 bum. Samarella, it's more of a frequent plane lately for you. It's just going in and out, and you can't really explain it. Sometimes it's so unbearable, like you just pass out. Yeah. You just tested it, Laura, to see if it's still there. You have it? Okay. Well, let me see if this one still works. Yep, so Chapterverse has that. I like it too. It also, you can put different translations. I like that feature. that you can change it to. Yeah, so ukulele rated over there, and then Reina rated over here. Okay. So the royal scribes were summoned in the first month on the 13th day of the month. Everything magnificent commanded was written to the king's satraps and governors who were in every province, and to the officials of every people, province by province, according to the script, and the people by people according to their language. In the name of the king, I will be rich and poor. It was written and sealed with the king's signet rings. Letters were sent by runners to all the king's provinces stating that they should destroy, kill, and annihilate. Like, destroy, kill, and annihilate all the Jews, from the youth to the elderly, both women and children, on a particular day, namely the 13th day of the 12th month, that is, the month of Adar, and to loot and plunder their possessions. A copy of this edict was presented as law throughout every province. It was to be made known to all the inhabitants so that they would be prepared for this day. The messengers scurried forth with the king's order. The edict was issued in Susa, the citadel. While the king and Magnificent sat down to drink, the city of Susa was in an uproar. Okay. Yeah, it must have been a thing, especially for Christian streamers. I don't think he had different languages. No, different translations. Different translations. So you could look up in the NIV, you could look up in the ESV. That's I if I said languages, I'm sorry, I meant translations. What not? I'm sorry, I missed to understand things here. What bot do you want me to join? Oh no, Samarella, we were talking about someone was asking about chapter verse. I wasn't talking to you about joining a bot. I was just talking about that bot when you came in. Yeah, I was just talking about that bot. Not that anyone needs to go join it. We were just having a conversation about it because it was asked, how do you join the bot? How do we do that? So Supersonic was asking that. Okay. The city of Susa is in an uproar. The final statement of verse 15 is a sad commentary on the pathetic disregard of despots for the human misery and suffering that they sometimes inflict on those who are helpless to resist their power. Here, while common people braced for reckless loss of life and property that was about to begin, the perpetrators were about their mundane activities as though nothing of importance was happening. See, and I think I'm sorry, I think it's more drastic than that. They're not about their mundane activities. They sat down to drink. They're partying. They're celebrating. They're excited. I don't think it's mundane. Oh, like look what we're gonna do. I think it's a joy. We account. Yeah. I'm sorry, Samuel. I didn't mean to confuse you. Yeah, I was reading comments and rolling, and I probably didn't make a good distinction there. Okay, we're going to roll up on an ad here shortly. Yeah, two topics going on, back and forth. And yep. I carry several going on. So we're going to end there, so because we got workout coming up. And you know what? We got 20... How far do we go? No, I think we'll end it there. I don't want to get too far. So we are through Esther 3. I think. Is that right? Or are we Esther 4? Yeah. We're Esther 3. We made it through Esther 3. Okay. Bum, bum, bum. And we're going to have to move those. Otherwise, we'll run into them. Because, oh. I did copy. Okay. There we go. All right, so we got ad coming in shortly. So ads coming in. Let me give you the fish. I'm going to go get ready for workout, switch my microphone, and then we will relaunch the stream for workout. So enjoy some fish time.
Flat cap Pastor Ox's tweet, streaming life by the reeds. Fish pond calm and glassy clear, view it all right from here. Dapper man with sax in hand, plays tunes by his quiet land. Acoustic guitar in the breeze serenades the fish with ease. Watch the fish, they swim along to the rhythm of his song. Flat Cat Pastor shows the way, stream it live come what may. With his cam he shows it all, little fish both big and small. Life in pond so serene, nature's beauty on a screen. See the ripples, watch the flow, hear the music, gentle glow. Flat cap's charm and calming tone makes the fish feel right at home. Watch the fish, they swim along to the rhythm of his song. Flat Cat Pastor shows the way, stream it live come what may. Refuse Cammy shows it all, little fish both big and small. Life in pond so serene, nature's beauty on a screen. See the ripples, watch the flow, hear the music, gentle glow. Flat cap's charm and calming tone makes the fish feel right at home. Watch the fish, they swim along to the rhythm of his song. Flat Cat Pastor shows the way, stream it live come what may. Flat Cat Pastor rocks his tweet, streaming life by the reeds. Fish pond calm and glassy clear, view it all right from here. Dapper man with sax in hand, plays tunes by his quiet land. Acoustic guitar in the breeze.
All right, we're back. Okay, so I kept with the brown hat, Lucis. Different brown hat. And we switched microphones, so we don't need that. And need to change what we're doing on the screen. Oh, by the way, those who came in late and did not see, we did an unboxing today. So I've got new earphones to be able to listen to and be able to do podcast and hear myself and not have it go back through the feed and anything. All right, so let me get... We're a little bit early today, which is okay. Bum, 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 bum. Boy, sometimes I get stuck doing something and I forget what I'm doing. I don't know if anyone else has that problem. Okay. Okay, no one else is up yet. So that'll take a minute. Okay, let's go ahead and... Oh, I was working on title change. And it's workout. Let's just put Friday workout. Friday workout. All right, so when I stop and restart, that'll be all set to go. Don't need to quite do it yet. Sounds like somebody just popped in. Who else is in? Ah, Supersonic. Doing the workout. Awesome. I got to turn my mic on so I can say hello. I don't usually have it on over here. Yeah, cool, man. Hey, I'm watching. Sorry, you're out of it, exhausted most mornings lately and still drooping. How are you? I'm doing good. Yesterday was a slog of just no energy, you know, post-conference crash, and got the fish pond set up. If you didn't see that at all, let me show you. It's been a while since it's been up, since last fall. So let's just take a peek straight at the pond there, and the sunrise that came up over the pond.
Fish pond calm and glassy clear. View
Do I have sound on? Let me turn sound on. No?
Dapper man with Saxon hand
There we go.
plays tunes by his quiet land. Acoustic
Yeah, I'm
guitar and
not as fit as I used to be. I
serenade
used to be all right for fit. Still working on it.
Watch the fish, they swim along.
So we got a couple of minutes before I restart to the exercise stream. I just didn't want to start the next chapter of Esther
Stream it live, come
and
what may.
get started. Oh, whoa, what do we have? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Who's that? Who's that? Is that a skunk?
Little fish, both big and small.
Do you see that? Up on top of the waterfall getting a drink. It looks really big to be a squirrel.
Nature's beauty on a screen. See the ripple,
Who's drinking my water?
the flow.
Oh,
Hear the
it's just a big old
music,
squirrel.
gentle
Man,
glow.
that tail looked like it was much bigger than it was.
Charm and calming
Is a squirrel.
makes the fish feel right at
Sorry,
home.
I saw that movement, and from
Watch
distance
the
I thought it
fish,
had to be
they
bigger.
swim along.
Off to cook breakfast. Thanks so much. Raina, thank you for the raid. Appreciate it. You know what? Let's do this before we head off, or anyone else heads out on this stream. Let me go ahead and send you off with a blessing here. And then we will flip over to the workout stream. May God's seeking comfort find you. May his loving arms bind you. May his might protect you. May his wisdom direct you. May the joyous love of Jesus Christ be with you and all those you know, both now and forevermore. Amen. Thank you, everyone who was here. Thank you, Raina, for the raid coming in. Appreciate that so much. And you turn the water off. What else am I looking for? Bum, 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 bum. Need to remember. Oh, that's what I wanted to find over here. There it is. I'm going to zoom out a minute and show you something else. Donnie has been showing me the anime solo leveling, and you learn the exercise routine is from One Piece. Never watched. Could do 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and a 10K run daily. Even just week? No. I cannot do that. A 10K run just sounds miserable to me, let alone all the other things. Okay. So let me show you one more thing I got. So, maybe you've not been able to see this in the background, but I got a new board. Now, this is from an office furniture store. So this hangs, like if you have an office furniture and you have a board behind you that's in front of your desk in an office furniture store or office furniture, that's what this is. So I got that to cover up everything below the fish here because it's an open system on that one. But I had these smaller ones, which I need down in my prayer booth. I put these up on the wall and I pin all of my prayer requests on these boards. So I needed to get those back to go to the prayer booth by the end of the month. So I needed something new. So I got a new one. So there we go. Hey, thank you for the fruit. Mixed berries. Excellent. All right, let's stop stream, restart it as the fitness stream.